Hey Ian, good to see you. How you doing? You're gonna try knife carving. That's amazing. You totally should. Are you gonna film it? Can we watch? Hey Heather B, how you doing today? Shout outs to you and the family. Hey baby kisses, how you doing today? Shout outs to you and the family. What's going on, Shoops? How y'all doing today? Man, a lot of y'all jumped in here real quick. Thank you. Oh, he said it was a question for kisses. Sorry about that, Ian. Good West Family Day, says baby kisses. That's amazing. Absolutely. I'm normally my ex-wife and I, ordinarily this would be my weekend with my kids. We swap every weekend, and we swapped this weekend out because she had a birthday party over on her side of town, and we missed the Caffeine and Octane, which is a big car show that my sons and I go to. It's once a month here in Atlanta. But it would have been rained out anyway today, so I'm gonna work on this mallet since I'm alone. Doing good, getting ready for bed. I work tonight, says the Shoops. Yeah, that is a weird life to get used to, Shoops. My mother, from the time I entered kindergarten to the time I graduated high school, worked third shift so that someone would always be home when we got off the buses, and someone would always be home, when we got up in the morning and get ready for school. And so either her or my father was always at home. They were very, very much. But I was very fortunate, I think, to have that circumstance. But man, that's something to get used to, ain't it? 12 hours, whew, that's a shift. Ian says I saw the knife on the table. Okay, I get it. You'll be here for a little while though. Awesome. Yes, baby kisses. I did epoxy it. And yeah, I was just, I haven't done much epoxy work at all. But I'm trying to learn new stuff, so I went ahead and carved it. Fortunately, because of his name and how who this is for, the font could be rough and probably better rough. So I kind of did this sort of gougy slasher type font here. So hopefully it'll come out all right. I'm going to start with something pretty heavy just to get the face and bulk of it off. But I kind of wanted to get the look of Carnage with the deep reds and a little bit of brown over it to look like, what YouTube probably doesn't want me to say. In fact, maybe I should turn this camera around because y'all are going to get the reverse view of it. Let me see if I can give you a better position. Ugh. There we go. That might be enough of the rough stuff. All that red out of everything else. Just go with a little light touch. And that's got to be like 100 grit. Thank you. Baby Kisses says that looks good. I appreciate it. Nikki News says, wow, that's from Carnage. How lovely. Yeah, Carnage is my buddy. He has over 160 likes on my videos at last count. It's been a while. And he has to be a huge part of why the rhythm likes me sometimes, because he likes me all the time. And you gotta love that. You just gotta love that. You gotta love having a buddy like that. And then you all, out of the blue, start hanging out on the channel, and my gratitude is high. I'm super grateful that you guys come hang out with me at all. But yeah, it's really nice. It's nice to have support. All right, enough of that sappiness. What is it? Sunday sappy Sunday? Let's get back to this main stuff. Carnage is a darling, yeah, he is. A darling with knives. A bunch of them too, boy. Now, he's a good friend to have. I'd imagine he'd be a spooky enemy to have. All right, let's see. Now this is the 180 I'm on now. And mostly at this point, I'm just trying to work these excess bleed over into that oak because it's so grainy. And stuff can easily work down into there. But that's a new thing I just learned. So let's go ahead and take it off. That way we can get the whole face of this thing done. And I'm in the process of moving my shop around, or relocating all of the stuff in it to different places in the shop. And like I'm big on, I guess I'll call it feng shui because I don't know another, whatever, shop flow. And that keeps adjusting to accommodate the woodworking because, you know, not doing cabinets in here very much and very often anymore. And this space is starting to kind of dedicate more to woodworking than anything else. So, gonna move some stuff around so that it'll all work as the skill set evolves. So now that's the 180 grit there. I generally wouldn't jump up again quite this high, but I don't think I have 220 available. I might have to just go straight to the 400 and hope for the best. And then we're gonna have to relay this bevel here on this edge because it had to be pretty aggressive to get that top layer off, and that gets a little bit into that bevel. And we don't want that chamfer to be inconsistent. Do it. Shoop says everyone is quiet. They are mesmerized by my sanding. I put them into a state of hypnosis. So now I'm going to use this 120 to kind of reestablish that chamfer right there. That's nice. That's nice. Now, more light movement with the 400. And then I want to try to polish this so that it looks, better. So let me find something that can do that. So now I'm gonna put a buffer pad on this thing. You just turned off the chat, says Ian. For me. Oh. Well, nothing wrong with that. You can chillax. So let me switch this around a little bit. I'm gonna use that. I'll almost watch me spill out all over YouTube. Gotta find a place to put this. Got stuff in there. Listen, sometimes I will get in here and get in the zone and just start getting stuff done. And then I will go and go and go until I burn completely out. And then I need to go upstairs and take a nap. And then I'll come back down and my shop is crazy. Riza, how you doing? How you doing? Now, I appreciate that everybody's here. I do. Do me a Flavor Flav and hit that like though while you are here, because the algorithm needs to know that you are present. So I don't look like a scrub faking it. even though I am a scrub faker. Let me see if I can get something buff, some buffing compound. And yes, I'm in my PJs. It's that kind of day. That's right, shoot, fake it till you make it. If I look the part, maybe I can get in the front door. Yeah, slow panty bear shirt. My kids gave this to me for Father's Day, maybe 10 years ago. Like, I keep every Father's Day gift. Come on, compound. What are you doing? Oh, it's not gonna come out right. I have to take it off. Holy smokes. This might be expired compound. Okay. Oh, yeah. We're gonna make it work, chat. I don't know what you're doing with your life, but over here, we're gonna make it work. Alright. We might as well put it on everything, right? Clean that boy up. And I'm going to spin this around again, so you ain't got to look at my ugly mug. There we go. Let's see if I can find somewhere to plug into. I wonder how wild this is going to get. I've never done. Let me see if I can lock this down first. Just in case it's getting that crazy, you know? Do it the ugly way. I'm pretty familiar with your face. So impressive. Tighten this thing up more. Trying to slang my thing. I don't like my thing slow. Let's see what it look like though. Bad. Oh, man, fingers in the way. Yeah, well, this is oak, so that it's pretty strong about the dents. But the thing is, we can get it out if it does. We just heat it up, and but we gotta get the polish right, fam. Let's put some more polish on, because that got pretty hot pretty fast. We don't want it to get outrageous. You definitely don't want to start burning wood. Let's see if we can get just a little more polish on it. There's another way we could go. That bad boy right there. Could do that. But which? Whatever do you mean? Well, listen here, baby. What we're gonna do, slide this here rag, shop cloth as it were. What am I talking about the plantation on it? Alright, so I'm just gonna open this up. I got it, right? That's how this works. Basically got 1/2 inch pipe split right down the middle, and I can slide stuff in it. And once said stuff is in it, it's in it pretty good. And then we can do that right there. Five, that's significant. Significant. It's super inspiration. Polishing rag. Shoot says nice work, and I appreciate you, Shoot. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you keeping the chat going. Good business. Now we've got to figure out some way to ship this thing. Let's go ahead and take our clamp up. Check for dents. Looks like we good. But we are going to go back on with the same finish we had on everything. Before we check this out, we'll clean it up again. We'll get all this debris. Make sure my guy gets a good clean product. Yeah, so we'll put one more coat of finish on it before we package this up and send it out. But I think that's ready. Alright, let me see, what do I have? I got a box over here. Oh, I might need some foam for that. So I'm going to take a little breather for the coffee portion of our evening. Also the Q&A. I don't know if y'all know this about me, but I'm a contractor, so. Alright, baby kisses. You out? You gone? You gone? You dipping? Alright. Have a great day. Johnny's Little Crabs, how you doing? Heidi Shoot, how you doing? In here with the Shoots Workshop. All right. Appreciate that. But what I was saying is, if anybody has like contractor questions, I'm full of that. No above average amount about real estate. And sort of a nerd about a renovation. Johnny's Lade City. It's time for a coffee refill. You're telling me I'm getting close. It's a pretty good sized cup though. I got about. But I'm definitely coming back to it. There's a whole pot upstairs. And I'm not sure of anything. But yeah, this is my first time doing an epoxy inlay like that. And I think it did work out okay. I gotta get this out of my cup. But I think it turned out good. I don't think it turned out amazing. I think it did turn out good though. It did what I wanted it to do. It's not quite as shiny in there as I hoped. But that may be because I'm just slightly below the surface. Maybe I didn't put in enough epoxy to get to the height to be able to hit it as good with the polished stuff. But I know, man. God. All right. Trying to get my light situated. There we go. While I obsess about this. So Johnny, have I picked your mind about lathes? I really, obviously I could use a lathe, but I really am interested in a lathe, but I don't have a ton of dedicated space that I could put to a huge lathe, but I do want an adequate one. Do you have any recommendations for a guy that don't know nothing about nothing? Get out of that. There we go. Excellent. I think I might have to do an inlay in one of these canes, because imagine like it's translucent, which would be an interesting feature to put in the center of the cane, right? I feel like I could do that. This might be an idea. I would say look on Marketplace on Facebook for a used one. That's how I bought all three of mine. That's what's up. That is what I have been kind of doing. And I think I missed some good deals too, because I was afraid I was gonna make a bad purchase. I saw one for $250 that looked pretty doggone good. And I hesitated and I waited. I'm still hesitating, still waiting. And now it's gone. And the three that I've seen locally are about $4,000. They must be, and there's one that's like 10 grand. They must be really top shelf. So, I love this big show. So, fold that in half. But I don't think I'd be mad at a hole right here, going straight through. And then some epoxy in it, right? An epoxy core. And then maybe something inside of that, right? Inside of the epoxy so you can see through it and see the thing. So I think I go all the way through. I plug one side somehow. I pour the epoxy. Right, halfway, let it dry or set or whatever, and then I put the thing in, and then I fill it back the rest of the way with the thing, with more epoxy. I think that's the plan. What are we going to put in here, though? I think we can figure it out. I like my Harbor Freight Central machinery. I got brand new, never used for $225. Okay. And my wife I've never used Craftsman for 175 with YouTube. That's amazing. What a great deal. What a great deal. I'm going to go right through this thing. I'm going to find it's a good place. It feels like it could be the same. But then would that make my hole too high? Let's think about this. It might. Just think about it in terms of circles and sizes. That circle's too big. That's not bad. But would it remove too much structural integrity? I don't want to go too crazy. A little small. What size forge one? We'll do that. That looks like a winner. So we'll need to drill. I left all my tools on the truck in the freaking rain again. So embarrassed for myself. Start right here. Can't leave, can't stop now. That's the point of no return. Now it's very exciting. You don't need no chain spinning and nothing like that. Where at? What now? I'm going to try to go straight down. Now that this is here, it looks like an eye, and then it looks like this is a trunk of like a snuffleupagus or something. And now I won't be able to unsee that. This bit is cooked. However, I'm gonna have to use it because it's the hole I started. I'm not gonna go get another one today, but what I can do is sharpen the bit, right? Maybe that's what I should do. But also, this is the weakest drill I have out of probably 8. All my DeWalt batteries are on the job. Like a dummy. All I got is Ryobi stuff left, and the 2 that I got in the shop that are better than this for sure are wet. The other one isn't wet, but it won't take this bit because it's empty. Cheryl. Shoot, you've been coming up on some tunes over there. What's going on, baby? How you doing today? Man, shoot, you know where the deals are, fam. Turning this thing into a hammer drill. You put that choppy pressure on, and it'll cut better for you. You spend a lot of time in the marketplace. I feel you, I do too. I'm actually looking for a truck and a car right now, so I am spending tons of time watching the market and many different things. And I've got to sell a car soon, so kind of watching the market for that because I gotta sell it first. Y'all done drinking coffee, or is it just me? I'm the only one still hitting the caffeine. By the way, I love y'all's shop over there. Shoot, family, I should say. It's wild, like I'm always excited when I see a, built by self shop. But then most shops are. But I'm always very excited to see how other people deal with storage and the same issues, we all face. Now, as a contractor that works with drills every day, I'm fighting 3 things here. A dull blade, a really weak, not weak brand, but a weak drill itself. This is the smallest little one they make. And this is oak. And it is not easy to slice through with the dull blade at all, and you need some power if you're going to try. But I be tripping, paying the price. I'm gonna wait for that bit to cool down because we don't want that problem either. Little hydrogen oxygen. This little hydrogen oxygen compound. Now we're through the oak. That's good. And we're into the pine, which means we're a little bit better than halfway through. So we can get there. Now, what we are going to do at this stage is lower a little bit on our pressure on this end, so that we can get this rag out from underneath. Because if this bites, we don't want to grab that bag and fling up that rag and fling all of our stuff. So I'm going to lock it down now here, up off of the table a little bit. So when I go through, I won't spin anything. I have to go slow. Now I'm going to try to stay relatively slow in my descent so that I don't just plunge through that other side. I want the tip to come through and then flip it, if possible. Cool that bit a little bit. Dull and final. Still there. Waiting for the vibe to change in there. When you feel it changing, you know we're through. Still got a little ways to go, but we're gonna go slow. Shake it again. I get it too hoggy. Road length. But Nathan, this is the one I got today. All the others are over there drying on the drying rack because they got a bad owner. This one is the one I basically use as a screwdriver in the shop. Never leaves the shop because of that. And you know, I wouldn't want all the tradesmen to see me with it and beat me up. You know what I'm saying? So don't you feel sorry for this drill. It's got a very easy life, okay? But we ain't gonna quit, Nathan. That's one thing we ain't gonna do. We're gonna get through this bit, through this wood, and as soon as we descend down on the other side, we're going to flip the proverbial script. Is proverbial appropriately? I don't know. But I'm adjusting this so that I can feel it beneath. When I do start, you can feel it. We're getting there, but I ain't there. Still just slow carving on through it. No rush. Fortunately. Thanks, Ivan. How you doing? I am I'm burning up my shop screwdriver, making it do the hard work that I've neglected my other tools with because I've left them out in the rain overnight. So, we're going to go through this cane, make a hole, pour resin, and do something cool in the resin, but I don't know what yet. I'm still waiting on the chat to give me ideas. Who knows? Anybody got ideas of where we could put in the cane hole? I did kind of like how regal that red looks in the Carnage mallet, right? That's not bad. Maybe that same red. Oh, let me cool this off. so cautious of this tear out on the other side. Eyeball. That would be. It's funny. I was just joking about that. That it looks like an eyeball, but then that makes this trunk look like a goofy elephant. But there may not be a way around that, you know? Well, something snagged a little bit. It might have been wood. I'm not through the side yet. I'm not through the other side. My tip is yet to penetrate. And that's what we're banking on. That's why we're going so slow. Gotta get through that. Slow and steady. What's going on, Simon? How you doing? Ivan says, dang, that sounds better than what I have done. We use it as a finger hold, suggest a semi-precious stone, or if you can get a scrap of some nice hardwood, you can polish it like a stone. That's true. What's going on? What's up, Simon? What's good? Should be through that wood by now. It's oak with a dull bit and a weak drill. And it's Sunday, and you know. And I just happen to not be pressed for time. You know what I mean? I spend most of my working week 100 miles an hour trying to get jobs done and get people satisfied. But here, efficiency is not necessarily the aim. You know what I mean? So, and you know, you got what you got, you know. I'm not going, it's a rain day, so I'm not going out to fix any of this. But, we're going to get it done. Sunday afternoon. Could be morning, I don't know. Oh, almost noon. Making a walking stick. Love from Sweden. Yes, sir, I am. Love from the United States. Ivan says, dining in a bit of oil or diesel may help it cut easier. Oh, dipping is the dipping. Yeah. Oh, I wish I had some WD nearby. But I've been cooling it with water to minimize the additional dulling, so I don't completely make it useless. But I would have sharpened it if I knew how. That may be something I'll look into. I've had these Forstner bits for at least 10 years. But as a contractor, generally only used one because I always had to make the same hole for cabinet doors for the hardware. And those are primarily the only ones that I use. And I've replaced those multiple times. But the rest of them, occasional moderate use. Oh, I just made a dent on the other side. We almost through. All right, I can feel it. Now we can flip this over. Dump all the sawdust on my lap. That'll be fine. All right, and this is where we have our tip going through. So we're going to refasten over here. And then we're going to do something probably a sensible thing. It's called a nail punch. We're going to put it right on our perforation that's coming through this way. We're going to send it through that way. So then we got a concave indentation. And we're going to go right on it. And with the same wicked ferocity as before, we ran it through it. Splendid. Success. Excellent, Smiths. Shoot says, I wonder if Mike is making stuff knows how to sharpen it. He might. He might. I have never even tried to. But I'm sure somebody knows how. Oh, I like that. I like that that's there. Immediately, I like it. And I'll tell you, if I'm being honest, it does make a fairly convenient finger holder, you know. I mean, it ain't given the general nature of the thing. I don't know. It looks like the head of one of those Nerds candies. Like where they got the little nose that hangs over and then the little eye right here. Now, onto the shaft. Alright, let's get this rag off. Messy. Messy. We'll go back to this thing. 20, that ain't bad. Fold it over. Perfect. Not perfect at all. I'll try to make it look cool for you. Try my damnedest. Same thing here. You can slide them in. Wrap them about. That's it. That's all we gotta do. Oh man. Well, the glue joint wiggled loose. I'm gonna reheat that later and get it back right. But until then, we got canes to build. Dang it. And this is just so we can smooth out the edges. The inside. Little finger bevel on it. Little finger bevel. Doesn't look like it, but I'm intentionally trying to hold an angle here. And just a slight bevel. I don't want anything too drastic. Because I don't want to have to manage a wider chamfer. Because it's all going to have to be freehand. And I don't want it to look crazy. Now that we've got a nice clean hole, gotta figure out how to plug one side of it so we can put stuff in it. June! How you doing, June? I haven't seen you in a minute. I think the hole really fits, maybe rasp it out. What I mean is like a line towards the handle and curves the grip. Yeah, that's a good idea, Ivan. I'm not arguing with that. That's a good idea. Eckhard, how are you? Welcome. So, yeah. There is a little bit of a here, but I don't know if I want to make that a part of the grip though. I really don't know if I want to do that. 'Cause I think I'm more interested in that being decorative, to be truthful. Um, yeah. So maybe a nice red or something that'll actually work with. Um, this gentleman's a religious fellow. I could put a little cross inside there, a little wooden cross, and see if I could get it to just sit center. You know what I mean? That'd be relatively easy to do. Yeah. Boston Blade Reviews. I'm doing wonderful, brother. How are you? Shout out to you. I'm gonna make you a moderator. You hear a lot. I like to see you light up in blue. You know what I mean? I like to see you light up in blue so that I know who's who. Boston, what you doing on that channel these days? Any interesting reviews? I get to come through every now and then, just a look. But it has been a hugely busy week for me. Had a lot of emergency things go on. So in the house and in the clients as well. Nothing we couldn't handle, but things that definitely take a lot of time away. So I'm trying to not feel guilty about not working today. I got that blue collar guilt. I always need to feel like I'm being useful. Boston says I'm good. I'm enjoying this Sunday. Well, I'm glad you are. That's perfect. That's what this day is for. Ivan says the cross is definitely a must. I love the idea. Dane says, what's up, Wes? What's up, man? Boston says been doing shorts mostly. Got away from videos and still enjoy reviewing blades and short videos. You know, I very much enjoy the shorts more than almost anything else that is on YouTube because of my attention span. And that's been my general focus on my channel. Like I started doing lives essentially because I needed to. And it turned out that I met a lot of great people and enjoyed that. But that was a total surprise for me. Yeah, Ivan, I just made you a mod, if you don't mind. You're here fairly often. I like that you light up in blue, just so that I can not miss people who are, in my brain, pretty essential to this channel. And anybody else who's a regular who would like to be a mod, throw your hand up and I got you. I wonder if this blue tape is going to be enough to keep the bleed out. I don't guess the bleed out is too bad. If it happens, we'll just sand it down, right? But the key is that I want to be able to get to that outside edge there. And I've got that dye. And here's the other thing. I've got this epoxy, and this is the quick setting. So I can just mix the color and with that, shoot that in there. You know what I'm saying? But what we're going to have to do here is go relatively fast and only use half of it. And I probably have to go get some more because that don't look like enough to fill that hole. But that's fine because it needs to set up for a little bit anyway. And store I got this from is 5 minutes away. Really appreciate it. But the serious thank you says I appreciate you, man. So I'm gonna put a little epoxy in. So real quick, if y'all are interested, what color would you suggest? That's my selection. And I really, on my own, I'm leaning towards the red. Left to my own vices, I'm definitely leaning towards the red with a little brown in it to make it kind of rubyish. Yeah, that's probably the way I. I'll let y'all look at it real quick while I go get more coffee, and then you can tell me when I get back. If somebody suggests, and it's not crazy, I'm going with it. So, I'll be right back. Don't run away. Because we'll do half, we'll do that pour, and then we'll make the cross, and then we'll put it in and go from there. But I think we can do all of this in one sitting. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Okay, let's look at the chat and see if anybody got a recommendation. Red, black, and brown sounds decent. John says, can you please tell me what you're making? I am making a cane, a walking stick, a defender of Rottweilers. And we're getting ready to put some bloody epoxy in it. And we're going to do that by mixing it in our mixing container. Where's that at? Oh, right over here. No problem. So I'm thinking we'll do red, and then maybe we do the cross in black because it's more visible that way. Maybe add some depth maybe. All right, so we got our red, got our brown available. We'll go ahead and get our epoxy out. We've already got a little mixy sticky, and it's got the right color on it, so that shouldn't be an issue. This is quick setting, so we ain't gonna have a lot of time with this. Sets in 5 minutes can be handled in 30, cured in 24. Let's go. If I can do it in clear, if you can do it in clear, in layers, you can make it see-through on both sides. Maybe a bit ambitious, but could look amazing. I do want to, yeah, that's a good idea. Apologies that I have to bounce where his phone is on too. No problem, Ivan. You can always check back. The lives are always up. So we'll see you later on, bro. And you can see the results of your ideas. I appreciate you. So here's what we've got. Pop out this little thing. And I don't think that thing is necessary. Right? Well, I think it caps it or something after you do it. But we're just going to pop these little joints off. Yeah, I guess that gives you a little way to cap it after the fact. Not bad. But they don't put much in this one, the fast setting, so look at it. It looks like these tubes are full. They are not near full. So, Ivan, with your suggestion, I am going to do that. I'm going to start with the clear. And that's it. And I'm going to just send it straight down. And then I'll have a base to come back with the red, make it translucent. But we're going to start by making it transparent. And we'll mix that up and put it in there. This one is more like what you'd want as a glue, I think. So I'm going to send it in there, and then I'm going to hit it with a little bit of heat to get those bubbles out, because this looks like it's got massive amounts of bubbles in it. Because we do have just a regular epoxy, so we don't really have to leave. We can make what we're doing complete once we get that one side filled up. You know what I mean? All right, it's in there. And we have covered the entire bottom of that. I am going to put a little bit more in there because we got it. And we could use the depth. And this is the fast setting, so it shouldn't bleed too long, it shouldn't bleed too far. It should be okay pretty quick. So let me get something that can heat up that epoxy while it's still heat up a bit. All right, real fast. Gotta put some heat on it and get the bubbles out. Hope I didn't burn it. It did brown up a little bit. Let's see what we got. Let's let you see a little bit of what I'm doing. So, alright, I hope that was enough. Now, figure out how we're going to get across in here. And what are we going to make it out of? I hope that plug worked. I think it did. I think it did. We got gold in these leaves. Maybe there's a way to do that. Like just put some gold flake in there and mix it into the epoxy, maybe? That may be something we gotta experiment with first. And we could definitely do that. So, we got some of the regular takes a day to set epoxy, and we can use maybe a little more hardener to our mix, speed that process up. But yeah, we can do that. But in the meanwhile, you can hit that like button or not. But I think I'm going to set up for that, for the new epoxy to go in here, figure out what material I want to use for that cross, see if I want to use these gold flakes, and we might have to do some experimenting, like I said, to see if that's an appropriate thing to do. But we'll be back. In the meanwhile, y'all go watch those shorts. Peace.